I'm trying to move it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector Dominguez. I'm here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. We have a fun, packed evening for you all today. As you can see, we have some special guests this way. We have some special guests with us today, all the way from Berwyn Township. We have Assessor Jacqueline Pereira. She's going to share a couple things with you. But before we do anything, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to let you know we have other guests that are going to be here today. So they will be popping in and out. Some housekeeping rules before we begin. If you have a question, ladies and gentlemen, and you're like me, and you have ADD, ADHD, ABC, 1, 2, 3, you have all of that, and you need to write down your question before you forget it, please go ahead and do that in the comment section, please. That way, when we get to the Q&A portion, you won't forget that you had a question to ask, and we will go ahead and answer those questions for you. So I just want to pass it over to your Township Assessor, Berwyn Township Assessor, Jacqueline Pereira. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with this collaboration with the Cook County Assessor's Office. Thank you, Hector, for logging on. We're here today to learn about reassessments. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's logging in. I do want to say that I will have an appeal pop-up session and Wednesday, May 17th from 6 to 7:30 at the Berwyn Police Station, and another reassessment workshop at St. Mary of Cell with the Cook County Assessor's Office as well, and that's an in-person event from 6 p.m. to 7:30. And the St. Mary of Cell address is 1428 Wesley Avenue. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, the Assessor's Office, for doing this today.
Thank you so much. You literally could be anywhere else in the world doing quite literally anything else, but you're here with us today. We do want to bring in someone very special to our office, our director, Lupe Marin. She's going to come in and she's going to do a little translating for you because I speak Spanish, but my Spanish is super, what we call jíbaro, broken, Humble Park style. So I know some words from like telenovelas, but that's it. So we're going to pass it over and go ahead.
Buenas tardes a todos. Yo nomás quería venir aquí a informarles un poquito sobre lo que vamos a hablar, que viene siendo sobre las apelaciones y las reevaluaciones. La presentación de hoy solamente está disponible en inglés, pero voy a dejar el link de un YouTube para la presentación en español. So pueden verla esa mientras están viendo esta también, y así tienen cualquier pregunta en español la pueden dejar y yo voy a estar aquí para contestarlas. So igual, y así tienen cualquier otra pregunta en español, lo puede dejar en los comentarios o nos puede llamar. Nosotros estamos disponibles para asistirle en español. So por favor hagan todos sus comentarios allí. And then, okay, so I'm going to kick it back. I don't know if the assessor is ready yet, but...
We can jump in, and as soon as the assessor is ready, we'll knock it in for him.
Okay. All right, Jackie, you are more than welcome to stick around for the Q&A at the end, but you are not required to. I know you're a very busy woman, so go ahead, whatever you choose to do. And then, Hector, go ahead and start.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here tonight, hopefully you are in Berwyn Township. Can you watch this anywhere else? And can you watch this and live anywhere else? Absolutely. Same information, different dates, but we want to make sure that those of you who are tuning in right now, you are from Berwyn Township, because this is going to be directly affecting you. So very quickly, we do want to introduce the assessor of Cook County, Assessor Fritz Kagi. He's going to be jumping in a little later, ladies and gentlemen, but let's get to why you're here, right?
Hi, Fritz. Sorry, Hector. Fritz is on now.
All right. Let me get out. Let me stop streaming. How you doing, boss? All right. I think we have some technical difficulties, but we're getting there. We're making it work.
All right. Here, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Here we go.
All right. I had everyone muted. Well, hey, welcome everybody in Berwyn. We're really happy to be with you in person last week, and we're here back virtually. And Hector, I didn't have a chance to hear you. Have you told him a little bit of the plan that we have here tonight?
I was about to start, but then I said, you know what? It would be better if the assessor took care of this portion. So if you want, I can start the presentation on the data slides for you, and then we can skip, or you can just give a little background and I can take over everything else, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Well, first of all, we wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day tonight. We're doing this on Monday. We know we have the deadline coming up. We want to make sure you have everything you need to get this done. We're going to give you some good knowledge about why we do this, how this process works, and then how you can get things done. And we're going to be real quick about it. You've got our best here in the office with Hector Dominguez. So at the assessor's office, every 3 years, we have to estimate the value of all the different properties in Cook County because that is how property taxes, which are determined by your local school districts and your local village and all the other taxing bodies in the county, they determine how much money they need. But there's no fixed rate out there to figure out how much you have to pay. So assessments are done to determine your share of that amount that all those different bodies that provide services to you need to get their money. So this is not the the assessor's office is not determining how much money has to be raised from Berwyn, or we don't set the rates. We don't determine how much has to be raised. That's determined by people that you elect in your village, in your school district, and countywide. At the assessor's office, we're just estimating the value of homes to determine your share of the total value in your community so that it becomes your share of this amount that your communities have to raise. And we do this every 3 years. And this is the year that we're doing this in Berwyn. We sent out to you our estimate of what your home was worth. And here tonight, we can make sure that you're getting enough knowledge to understand the context for that, for what went into that. But then also, if our number was off the mark, we want to make sure that we get it right, and the appeals process is for you so that we do get it right. So we can go to the slides.
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. Share screen, window, share.
So this is what I just described. So the deadline for filing your appeal is on May 24th. So it's coming up. And we're all here to help describe what this is. You have 30 days after we send out the assessment notice, and that 30-day period ends on May 24th. And we'll tell you how this appeals process works so that you're not paying any more than you should. First of all, you can see how we came up with our assessments. When we're doing assessments, we're looking at transactions that have happened in your community, nearby you, in homes like yours, to determine our estimate of value in Berwyn. Here you can see in Berwyn that home prices have been rising pretty swiftly. You can see that they were at here I'm gonna, if you blow it up a little bit, Hector, I think we can see it's at $215,000 and went up to all the way up to you can just see it there.
285,000.
285,000, and then our estimate of value is 247,000. So below the recent transactions that have happened, we think a lot of those recent transactions were maybe on homes that have been fixed up a little bit more, that are a little bit higher end than the average. So that's why you see our assessment is 247,000 lower than the transactions that have happening. But the transaction prices have been going up. If you look in the middle area, you'll see that condos have not been rising as swiftly. They're hovering just right a little bit above $100,000. And then with multifamily units, they've also been rising pretty significantly. We think the average unit's worth about $324,000. We go to the next slide. This is where we get to the part where we tell you a little bit about we've looked at homes that have transacted in your community. How do we come up with these values? Well, these are the homes that are nearest you. So your assessment was derived from many different transactions that happen in your neighborhood, and you can find it on your assessment notice what's going on in your neighborhood. If we go to the next slide. Hector, are you there? I'm just trying to see if we have the next slide here.
Hi, Assessor. I think there might be a frozen screen.
Okay.
Let me try to pull
Okay.
up.
Well, while we're waiting for the screen, what you should do is when you look at your assessment notice, look at the neighborhood code that you have there. The neighborhood code will give you even a chance to do even more research on what's going on in your neighborhood. So you can see the transactions that happen in your neighborhood, you can see the trend, and you can do a lot more research on what's going on right nearby you. We go to the next slide.
I'm sorry, boss. Whenever we blow up the presentation, it just gets shaky on the connection. I have no idea why that's happening. So, but we are on the residential assessment notice slide.
Okay, there we go. So this is where you can find your neighborhood code. So you see right here in the middle, you have the neighborhood code and property characteristics, and that tells you what code we've used for the area that we think is like yours, with homes like yours within Berwyn. And then on our website, you can go and you can do research and see, taking that neighborhood code, what's going on in your neighborhood about Berwyn, because it's those transactions that happen that helped us to come up with an estimate for your home. So if we go to the next slide, you can see what this map looks. You can see a little bit. Here's sort of the raw material that we look at. Yes, okay. So here's what you can see in terms of your neighborhood code. So if you take your neighborhood code and then you click on the neighborhood map at this web page here at www.cookcountyassessor.com/Berwyn-2023, you can go to different neighborhoods in Berwyn and see which transactions happened last year for homes like yours and see the range that we have. Does that mean that we're right? Not necessarily. And that's why we have this appeals process, because homes that sold in your neighborhood, maybe we think they're like yours, but they're not. Or maybe your home is not of the same quality as the homes that sold. And that's why we have the appeals process. And that's why Hector and our team are here for you tonight. So what I'm going to do from here on is I'm going to give it to Hector, and Hector will show you how to take this from here. But I just want everyone to know here that we're here for you for your appeals. They have to be filed by May 24th, but that gives us plenty of time for us to help you out in the meantime. Okay, Hector, take it away.
Thank you so much, boss. I really appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as the assessor stated, you have multiple different tools on our website for you to file an appeal. But what if you don't know why you want to file an appeal? Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. There are many different reasons why someone would file an appeal. I'm going to go over the three most common. So the first one is lack of uniformity. That means myself and you all live in the same community, same township, same neighborhood. The house is the same size, same color, same blueprint, same area, same everything. But for whatever reason, our values are not the same, and you want to know why things are not uniform. Another reason why taxpayers would file an appeal is for overvaluation, which I'm going to assume is almost everybody here, right? There's no way my property is worth this much. If my property was worth this much, I would sell it back to you right now. And then the third most common reason why taxpayers file an appeal is because of incorrect property description or property description error. They're interchangeable. This just means there is a factual error. That means our office says your property has 5,000 square feet, but you really have 1,200 square feet. Or our office says you have a building with 6 apartments or less, but you really have a single family home. So how can you figure some of these things out? Very simple. You go to our website, cookcountyassessor.com, put in your PIN number, and you can kind of see all the different property characteristics of your property, your specific property. Can you use our website to look at other people's property? Absolutely. You just need to know their address or their PIN number. We do want to stress that if your assessment or your reassessment, I should say, is within 10% of the averages that the assessor said earlier, can you still appeal? Yes. Will you see a reduction? Maybe not. However, if your value, your assessment is way off, nowhere near that 10%, then you absolutely want to appeal. So what is the appeal process? Very simply put, first you get a reassessment letter, then you file an appeal with a reason why you want to appeal. Then our analyst will go in and determining what type of evidence you give us or you provide our office, they will see if there's going to be a reduction or not. Then you will get a decision letter mailed to you. Your decision letter will say, congratulations, we're going to lower your value by such and such amount. Or it's going to say, sorry, due to the uniformity of the neighborhood, we're not going to lower your value. Either way, you will receive a notice from our office. How can you appeal? Go to cookcountyassessor.com/online appeals. And from there, you can start your appeal, you can edit your appeal, you can stop your appeal, you can come back and kind of do it later. You can do whatever you want to do with your appeal. You can submit some additional documentation, some supporting documentation, some pictures, a sales analysis, blueprints, a narrative, whatever you want for free up until May 24th. So today is the 15th. That means we have until next Wednesday before you, in order for you to file an appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not be the person that appeals at 11:59 on May 24th. Please, please, please. If you want to file your appeal, I'm literally going to walk you through it right now. That way, you can go back to this video later on while you're filling out your appeal and kind of go along with us. You can do it for free, guys. So you will go to cookcountyassessor.com and then click on the word appeal, file online appeal, and then you would get to our file appeal online page. You would want to scroll all the way to the bottom where you would find residential, condo, co-op, commercial, all of these different types of appeals. What we're going to focus on today is residential. From there, you would need to log in. Now, you can create a brand new account. Go ahead and do that. It takes about 2 minutes, or you can already have one made. So I sign in under happytaxpayer@gmail.com. From here, you'll get available filings. You want to scroll all the way to the bottom and find residential assessment appeal. If you have a condo, you want to find condo. If you have any other type of appeal, you want to make sure you find that as well. Now from here, just begin your filing. Once you put in your PIN number, and click search, this will auto-populate for you with your information. So if this is correct, just click start filing. If it's not correct, just edit it. From here, I want to give you a little cheat code. Anywhere you see check boxes, anywhere you see red stars or asterisks, you want to make sure you do that assignment or that activity or check that field. Otherwise, you cannot continue. So go ahead and check the boxes and click next. After you click next, this will auto-populate for you. Just verify, make sure the PIN number is correct. You click next. Now, some of you all might have what's called a certificate of error when filing an appeal. What is that? That is when there is a factual error that we have missed for whatever reason for a few years. For example, there was a fire and we were not made aware of it, so we were assessing you as a property, but really you have not been living there at all, and there's actually nothing there anymore because it got burned down. Or for property description error, there was a factual error like square footage or something like that, and we've been assessing you incorrectly for previous years. As of right now, this moment, you can go back all the way to 2019. So if we've been making the same mistake for 2022, 21, 20, and 19, you can go ahead and just check those years, and we will correct them. Next, we want to know, do you have an additional PIN number? What does that even mean? Well, some people have what's called a prorated property. That means your property sits on one area, but it sits on two areas, but it sits right in the middle, right? That means you receive more than 2 tax bills for the same property a year. This means you have more than one PIN number for the exact same property. If that's you, just go ahead and let us know. Now we need to know who you are, right? So remember we talked earlier, wherever you see a red asterisk, you have to fill out that information. So you would just check or click on the drop-down menu and click taxpayer owner. You would do that for every single one of these, and then make sure you give us your name, your phone number, and your email address. Then click next. From here, this will auto-populate for you. Just make sure this is correct. If it's not, you can edit it and click select. Then we get to a very unique part of the appeal, right? This is where folks who have a disagreement about their property characteristics would correct it. So if our office says your property is 200 years old and you're saying that's incorrect, it's brand new, this is where you would let us know. If our office says you have a 3-story property and you're saying, no, I only have a 2-story property, this is where you would let us know. Things like that. This is where you would edit all that information. Next, we need to know what kind or how much you think your property is actually worth to you, right? So we need to know that amount. So our office says your fair market value is X. You're going to tell us what you believe it is. Then we need to know why you are appealing. We already went over the top 3 reasons why one would appeal, but I'm going to go over the other ones very quickly. Lack of uniformity or comparables means you have comparables that you want our office to look at for yours. Vacancy, occupancy, that means you have an empty property. Fire damage, self-explanatory. Building is uninhabitable, self-explanatory. Building no longer exists, self-explanatory. Now, notice when you check a reason for appealing, you do have to give us a reason, an explanation to why. I very quickly just wrote value is too high, but we actually need a reason, so make sure you're aware of that. Next, underneath there, you have field check. This is if you want someone to actually come out to your property to redraw and to remeasure it. It is a free service. We don't charge you for it. We don't go into your home. We don't have to make an appointment. It's literally a drive-by. We come by, come out, redraw, remeasure, and we pack up and go. Underneath that portion, we need to know what kind of property do you have? Do you have a single-family home? Do you have a building with 6 apartments or less? Do you have a mixed-use townhouse situation? Do you have something else? Like, what's happening, right? Let us know what kind of property you have by identifying it and clicking next. Here is where things get exciting, right? So we have taxpayers all the time that ask us, hey, how do I find comparables? Literally, we have many different ways, but let's make it simple. So this top portion where it says search for comparable parcels, you want to leave all of that alone and just click search. This is auto-populated by the information that's on your reassessment notice. So it will find comparables for you that fit your property, right? But we understand that you might have a specific property that you want our office to look at. If that is the case, then you want to use the custom additional search criteria at the bottom. There's where you'll put the PIN number or the address of the very specific property you want our office to look at. The third way you can look for comparables, is to contact your township assessor. So in your case, that would be the Berwyn Township Assessor's Office. They have access to a program called AIM, A-I-M, and there you will have to, you will give them your PIN number and they will find comparables for you. So very easy to use. Now, once you select a comparable, it will be populated under here, and then you just have to click the word next. Here's where they will be compared side to side to make sure this is the one you want to use. If it is, you click next. If you made a mistake and clicked the wrong one on accident, just press the previous tab. And then we get to the portion where all the questions come in. This is where we do this every day. And this is where we get the most questions. So how do you upload pictures? How do you upload an appraisal? How do you upload additional comparables that maybe you didn't think of ahead of time or you thought of later? How do you upload a narrative? How do you upload anything? This is where you would do that at, right here. You would just select files, upload it, and be done with that. It's super easy, super fast, super convenient, guys. Lastly, we would need your name and your phone number and an email address in order for us to contact you by, and then click the word submit. Once you click submit, you'll get a giant, are you sure you want to submit this filing? Up until this point, you have not filed your appeal. So you can go back, you can edit, you can stop, you can pause, you can relax, you can go grab a sandwich, whatever you want to do. However, once you click yes, your appeal will be submitted. Once you file your appeal, immediately you will get a confirmation page. On this confirmation page, you will get a filing ID. Save this, screenshot this, write this down. Whatever you need to do to remember this number, go ahead and do that, because if you want to contact our office about your appeal, this is the number they're going to ask you for. They're going to say, what is your filing ID? This is the number you're going to give them. Please remember that your decision letter is going to be mailed to you, though. All right? You want to make sure that that's perfectly clear. To check your property's exemption history, your appeal history, your assessment history, or just read about other things in your community, your township, you can go to cookcountyassessor.com. You definitely want to take advantage of our page. our website. We have all kinds of crazy information on there. A lot of data is on there now, which is the first time it's been done, I think, in the history of the assessor's office. So you definitely want to take a look at that, especially if you love numbers. Next, we want to talk about your exemptions. I know this is an appeal presentation. I want to go over exemptions very quickly. The ones that you see in yellow are automatically renewed going forward. So once you apply for them this year, they will auto renew for you. The ones you see in red are auto renewed, but with special stipulations, right? So we can talk about that. Actually, you can go on our website, cookcountyassessor.com, or go to our Facebook or our YouTube page and look up our exemption presentations. And I go super in depth about this information, but that's not what we're here for today. This is what your tax bill looks like. You get 2 of these a year. The first one is blue and does not have any exemptions on it. It typically comes out the first part of the year when it's cold outside. This tax bill is your second installment tax bill. It is yellow for when it's warm outside, and it has your discounts on it. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, which is this area we blew up here in red, this is where your exemptions are listed. Homeowner, senior freeze, disabled person, disabled veteran, returning veteran, all of them are listed here, except for the long time. The long time exemption is listed under important messages. Once you file your exemption online, you get this immediately as well. This is a confirmation page. This has your filing ID here as well. That's another number you want to save. And then within 48 hours, you'll get an email from our office letting you know it's been submitted as well, along with your filing ID. So you have 2 kind of forms of confirmation here. If you want to connect with us, I would highly encourage you to follow us on social media. You can contact our office at 312-443-7550. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. You can make an appointment to come see our beautiful faces in person at the downtown location, 118 North Clark, at the Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie, at the Skokie location, 5600 West Old Orchard Road, room 149, or the newly reopened Bridgeview Courthouse location, 10220 South 76th Avenue, room 205. Ladies and gentlemen, if you hover over this QR code with your camera on your phone, you will be taken to our Linktree account, and from there you can do everything we literally just talked about. And I believe, let me do it, I believe it's the 6th option down that allows you to sign up for our newsletter. Why is this important? Why should I sign up for a newsletter? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, the 6th option down lets you sign up for a newsletter. I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but why should you sign up for a newsletter? Because if you do, you are able to be well informed about your property and your township, right? You get as much information as humanly possible. You get it as fast as humanly possible, and you are not left to kind of slip within the cracks, right? We get these complaints every single day. Hey, I didn't know about this. Hey, I didn't know about exemptions. Hey, I didn't know about appeals. Well, if you sign up for our newsletter, you will definitely be made aware. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to jump into the Q&A. So let's see what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Claudia Moreno says, Nunez, that's, wow, good name. It says, are R2 evaluated more than single family? My house was deconverted to a single family. I'm not sure what you mean by R2, but properties are reassessed using a mass appraisal system. So basically what happens is our office goes out, not our office, I apologize. Our system goes out, takes this information in, and then averages everything out. So I hope that answers your question. If it does not, please contact us directly. We can actually look up the property you're talking about if you provide us your PIN number. So you can do that. What else do we have here? Mickey Houston says, did you mention the board review process? Great question. No, I did not mention the board review process because that is a different agency, separate and unique from us. We are not the same as the Cook County Board of Review. However, they are step number 2 in the appeal process. So you can appeal with our office, Cook County Assessor's Office. And regardless of what type of decision you receive, good or bad, you can contact the Cook County Board of Review. They do things differently than we do. They are not held to the same standard that we are. So their process is completely different from us, but you can contact them directly. What other questions do we have? Let's scroll through this. No, thank you, Claudia. Appreciate you. It looks like we do not have any other questions. So do we want to bring up like I'm talking to people who can answer me back. Do we want to bring up the assessor from Berwyn Township for a closing? Oh, wait, we have another question. Is there a way to see what the exemption break would be before the second installment? Cornelius, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking, do you know what the bill will be before the discount? Unfortunately, there is no way to calculate that ahead of time. What you can do is look at your bill and look at whatever the discount amounts are and add them back in to the total, right? So let's pretend your bill's $1,000 and you have a $400 a homeowner exemption. Just add that $400 in and that will tell you what the bill is before. Oh, actually, on your second installment tax bill, bottom left-hand corner, right side of that, there is a portion that says amount before exemption. So it will definitely tell you what your bill will be without the discount. Oh, but I think now that I'm rereading this question, I think he's asking, do we know what the discount
I think Hector's screen might have frozen again, but we will make sure that we get to your question, Cornelius, at least in the comments. There is another question below, which reads, can you explain why a substantially larger home in Naperville would have a similar tax as a home in Country Club Hills, for instance? I think, Hector, you're unfrozen now.
Yes, I am. Thank you. I apologize, guys. I don't know. I got to pay my bill. The question is, can you explain why a substantially large home in Naperville would have a similar tax as a home in Country Club Hill? Oh, exactly. Okay, so great question. How can I say this? So when you're looking at tax bills, you never want to look at tax bills because that amount can be very misleading. Here's why. There are many different townships in Cook County. Each township has a specific tax rate. Some townships, like Worth Township, where I live at, has multiple tax rates within said township. So everyone's township is different. Everyone's tax rate is different. Everyone's discount amounts are different. So it literally just depends on where you live at. So is there a situation where one home in one area can be the same as another home in another area, even though it's a lot smaller or bigger or whatever the case is? Absolutely. It literally just depends on the tax levies in the area you live in the township you live in, and then also the assessed value of your property. I hope that answers your question. And I hope I don't freeze again. I would really love it if I didn't. Assessor, is there anything you want to say before we close out?
No, I just want to thank everyone that joined us this evening. Just want to let residents know that if they have any further questions, they can contact me at the office at 708-788-6600 or send an email to Jacqueline Pareda at berwynassessor.org, or they can visit my website. So any questions from here until the deadline, they can give us a call or send me an email.
Awesome. I do have a question for you. Maybe you said it while I was frozen and trying to, pick my life back up from shattering. When taxpayers want to come to your office, do they have to make an appointment? Can they just walk in, or?
We accept walk-ins, but appointments are strongly recommended since we are also helping still with the exemptions.
Absolutely.
So we are, if they can please call our office and make an appointment, that will, guarantee that, we just to manage the flow of people coming in. So please call, make an appointment.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Let's call before we get there, guys. Let's make an appointment so you are guaranteed a slot. You are guaranteed help. Don't just show up. But
I believe Hector is freezing up again, which that's okay. I have dropped all of the township assessor contact information in the comment section, so feel free to reach out to her if you need any further assistance. And again, we are scheduled to have another in-person event with the Township Assessor of Berwyn on the 18th, which it is, all the details for that is available on our website as well. But for the time being, thank you so much, Jacqueline, for being with us.
Thank you,
And we will
guys.
see you again on the 18th.
Yes. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.